Oh my God. Oh my God. This place today that I saw, I loved, but it was really expensive. Well, it was at the very top of not what we're approved for, but what we want to spend. Oh my God. It was just like beautifully landscaped. It was in amazing shape. There was an apple tree outside. She had blueberry bushes. She had, like mint and chives and stuff growing in the yard. And it had like two decks, like where one part of the deck was screened in and beautiful, and you went down another level and it was out part of it was just so pretty. But the part where my parents would need to be it wasn't like a good enough living space for them.
Who would maintain the yard? You? You're going to start mowing the lawn?
I think me and my mom. My mom does her yard now.
You better get an electric lawnmower. People really look down on gas-powered lawnmowers these days.
Oh, well.
If you have a gas-powered lawnmower, you'll be shunned.
Oh my God.
People will...
Gives me anxiety to talk about it. It makes me feel like anxious.
People will drive by and scream at you. Just kidding.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, all the stuff I'm going to need to do and have. And
what, moving?
Mm-hmm. Especially moving into like a house like that's going to be big enough for, two families, I guess. I'm
surprised that it's happening so fast.
I know. It really was sort of on accident that it's happening so fast.
What about the lease?
I don't have a place to move yet, so I can't put in a notice.
Yeah, but because you have a lease, are they going to penalize you? Penalize you, as some people like to say?
Yeah. No, because I haven't re-signed anything, so I'm assuming I'm on month to month.
Oh, yeah. I guess if you haven't re-signed, then you probably are, unless you signed a 2-year lease that first time.
Maybe I did.
You didn't even know it. Well, I hope you're just month to month.
Yeah.
Then they won't, penalize you.
It's crazy, this feeling I get. Like, I get anxious.
It's a lot. It's a big move, and you weren't expecting it.
Yeah.
And it just said, hey, how about this? And then before you even processed that, it was, okay, we're going to do it.
It was in the works, yeah.
I mean, that's what this move felt like.
Really?
In New York, it already happened so quickly. You find a place you want it, you have to say immediately. Usually,
right, that's how it is here, too.
Yeah, I think the housing market overall is now kind of like it usually is here, where things go so fast that it's a whirlwind, and then before you know it, you've signed some papers and you're in.
All right, so maybe it's not crazy that I'm the way that I'm feeling. I mean, I went out last night, so I'm a little, I'm having the after effects of drinking, which sometimes means a little anxiety. So I don't totally trust what I'm feeling, but I keep feeling it and thinking it's a warning that I need to pay attention to. Like, what is that? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Is it because I'm just nervous because it's a big change? Is it because, I'm scared to live with my parents? Is it, like what? I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, what am I feeling?
Well, we should just build this officially into the show.
Yeah, we could.
Because what is your topic today? Killing, even though we just did murder several weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. I always forget what we do.
I know your memory is not good at all.
I know, but especially when it's talking about
when
any shows that we do, I never remember what we say or talk about.
I'm glad you care about it so much.
I do care about it. It's just we're chatting and it's happening, and then all of a sudden it's over, and then
hush.
Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. I sound weird today. I'm Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ. Yes, Autumn, you do sound weird today. You're on some AirPods. I hope they're charged.
I know, the one already died, so I'm charging it. So I only have one AirPod.
You didn't even prep before the show by charging your AirPods.
Well, I always have an AirPod in, so there was no way to charge it.
You do walk around with an AirPod in your ear at all times, and if
it's not in my ear, then it's in my bra, and if it's not in my bra, it's in the charger.
You're lucky they're a little bit more stylish than the old Bluetooth headsets, because there's no difference otherwise. You do keep the thing in your ear at all times, and you would look like one of those jerks walking around the street constantly connected through the Bluetooth.
Yeah, do you remember when those were first out and they like wrapped around the back of people's heads? And I was like, what are those things?
Having important conversations at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you wish you were me? You couldn't be me. It's too difficult to be me. Only I can handle being me.
Well, yeah, I'm computerless for undisclosed reasons at the moment.
Yeah, so you don't have a computer, so that's why you're on the AirPods. What's the name of your AirPods?
I don't have a name for my AirPods.
So what is it? Just pop up AirPods?
Yeah, Otto's AirPods.
That's a name.
All right. But that's because my phone is like Otto's phone.
Yeah, mine are called the same as my phone. Goodyear, but it's Good Guy, Connecticut, Picacho. That's the name of my... That's what Siri...
Can you name the earbuds? I want to get back to the name, but like, can you name the AirPods something separate than your phone?
I think you can, because then they connect to my computer and other things, and maybe it was just the initial pairing gave them that name, and I never changed it. I feel as though you can, but I don't follow the technology so closely, which is strange that I do Tech Tuesday on the Von Hessler Doctrine, but I don't... It's like I got it working, and that's enough. I don't need to explore the full range that is offered by the AirPod.
Well, now that I know that maybe you can change the name, I'm going to look into it, because I would love to have a name like Gary or something normal.
Let's hear Siri say my name.
You're Greg, but since we're friends, I get to call you Goodyear, but it's Good Guy, Connecticut, Picacho.
And why does she call you that?
Because at some point when I was naming myself, I did that thing where I just made noises like, and that's what she translated it into.
Oh, awesome. You know, there's a TikTok thing where you can type text on the screen and then a TikTok like voice will speak it for you, you know? So people they'll say, just like put a bunch of H's all in a row and then say like a normal sentence after that. But because she like starts to get all distorted and weird, she's like H H H H H you know, and then she goes into the rest of the sentence and it's all garbled because it's like affected how she's pronouncing the rest of the sentence. It's so weird.
TikTok, that's your new playground. You are absolutely in love with it, which makes sense because I know you were a Vine lover.
Well, what's great about TikTok is that you can follow TikTok accounts that are called like Old Vine. You know?
It's interesting that Vine went away and then the void was...
It's because fucking Twitter bought it and then just like, no, this really amazing thing that people are loving and is super creative and is a place for like kids to express themselves in an interesting way. Like, no, we're just gonna stop. No, it's just gone. No.
We don't see the value in it.
Yeah, fuck you, Twitter. Twitter is a scourge.
We don't know how to monetize it. They don't even know how to monetize Twitter, so you can't.
Yeah. So why did they buy it?
And I can't say the motivations. That's a sign that you're a healthy tech company is when you're a predator. You're consuming other tech companies. You're bringing them in the fold. And then, I mean, you use them to your advantage, but when you buy something just to shut it down, I don't get that. Facebook buying Instagram and integrating everything and then stealing people's information even more so. They had reasons for it.
Right.
But I don't understand. We're going to buy this to shut it. It wasn't a direct competitor by any means.
Well, I mean, TikTok is like has more features and abilities than Vine did. I don't understand. I feel like an idiot using TikTok. I'll have an idea and then I go on there and I'm like, I can't figure stuff out.
You got too old.
Yeah, I might have.
You have to, your art now can't be anything where you're on camera, I'm sorry to say. And it's not because you're a woman. Like if I tried to do it, like, yeah, look at this old dude. Nobody.
Oh, but there's a diverse group on TikTok. It's okay.
I'm sure there's a diverse group, but when you're trying to, I mean, not to say that someone who's 40 couldn't make it and find their way, but I think for the most part, it's even harder because you're going to get the younger people dismissing you. Whereas if you,
but I'm not doing it for others. I'm doing it as an expression of something I want to make or say or do,
which is fine. I mean, the improper way to use it. The proper way is to try to get fame and fortune and popularity. So I don't know, this expression, an outlet for creativity.
It is.
No, as I was saying, though, I feel as though, and this is just me thinking if I was ever to do anything at this point that I wanted to put out for public consumption that was possibly, that had the potential to reach a wide audience, I wouldn't show my face. It has to be writing or creating some kind of visual
That'd be
art.
interesting.
Yeah, but it can't be like, look at me, here I am, I'm this guy.
But see, that's the thing though. That's somebody else. You are the person who's not going to show a face and is going to produce something like a little bit more subtle and meaningful. And other people are going to, do something else like that. It's just whatever people are and whatever they want to express, even if it's something dumb. I mean, dumb things can be funny. Dumb things can be interesting.
How many accounts are out there? Mom's trying too hard, something like that. I mean, because there's people who think, okay, well, I understand what the perception's going to be, so I'm going to lean into that. My account's going to be like, mom tries.
Yeah, I mean, there are ones like that where it's like, watch me cook dinner for my family when I don't know how to cook. Stuff like that.
Everybody.
And so like people will submit recipes for her to cook, and she's like, shit, okay, I'm gonna try and make this, I guess.
Everybody wants the attention. You send me videos and I find them to be funny quite often. So I'm not shitting on the platform.
I feel like an idiot sending them, like, again, like an old person, like sending a joke through email. Or those Facebook posts that people post where they pretend like it's something serious and at the end it's like some joke and it's like, forward this, copy pasted on 10 of your friends' profiles.
Yes. If you don't, you will die, or someone you care about will have a horrific end.
Horrific end.
Yeah, I bought into some of those chain emails.
When I was a kid, I thought that those things were haunted.
Yeah, they're pretty creepy. What's our topic,
so
by the way? Our topic, the reason we're not getting into the topic is because Autumn wanted to talk about killing. And we just did a show about murder, but you specifically said this isn't about murder, but it's killing. And I know you had an idea behind it. Just let me look up your text. We can continue this conversation. But you said, how about killing? Not necessarily like murder, but we can include that, even though we just did a whole show on murder.
Forgot.
I'm thinking of people who hunt for sport, for food. I.e. people in the show alone. I think you meant see people.
IE.
Oh,
No,
I.e. people. Was this a voice to text?
No, I just am bad at. I just type things quickly and send them without looking.
I.e. people in the show alone who trap a squirrel and it's not all the way dead and they have to kill it. I mean, I like the idea of the whole episode being about having to kill a squirrel that's not fully dead.
No, the whole thing would be about our distance from, looking something in the eye and it being alive and then it being dead and consuming it, and whether we could do that. I don't know. It was just an idea.
I know.
I was going to say pain.
Pain
as an option. Yeah, as a topic.
Emotional pain.
Whatever.
Physical pain.
Emotional pain. Whatever.
Okay, so that's why, for anyone who's wondering what is the topic, we're kind of just rambling because we're talking around that topic.
Well, and then we
that
decided maybe last minute to change it to something else.
Well, then that made me think that your memory stinks. Like, I have a great memory. At one point, I thought this can transition into us just talking about memory. But it takes a little bit of prep, so I'm not ready to do that. But my memory, outside of names, I can't remember names. But my memory, I can tell you, on that day when we did this thing, this also happened, and I was wearing this, and you said this, and people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not like that.
Yeah, because I'm constantly scanning every moment in life looking for the meaning. Realizing this is a little joy that I should take note of because it's fleeting. God knows where I'll be in the future. And maybe this is something I'll want to look back on and find value in.
But then are you ever really truly in a moment if you're always thinking about it later?
I mean, if you can certainly go too far, but if you're realizing the moment for what it is, then that's the definition of being in the moment. I know what you're saying. It can be overthought. So it's at the point where it's like, okay, now I'm realizing that in the future that this may be a thing that I look back on when I'm having a harder time or when I'm assessing where my life is. Sure, then you're not in the moment. But if you think, wow, this is a nice moment, I'm in this moment, I want to take note of this moment and let it wash over me, then isn't that the definition of being in the moment?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're taking stock in a moment.
So my memory, for that reason, top notch. People, what you remember.
My memory is more about like a feeling of a memory, you know. I hardly ever remember like what years things happened in, months, date. Like, I feel like I'll think back on a memory and I'll say like it was warm out, you know, so it must have been summer or spring.
Yes.
And then I think about like how old I must have been, so it's between some like
between 4
year, you know?
and 28.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was sometime in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I have trouble with that stuff. Names and things have gotten easier for me. It used to be, I think that because I wasn't living in a true, authentic way for myself. I know that sounds like weird, but you know, I was always like assessing who I could be for this person. So like if I met someone new, I would do the whole like song and dance of meeting someone.
Oh yeah, you were just thinking about yourself.
So I was thinking like, this is how people meet people. Do that. And so I would do that and people would tell me their names and I would never remember because I wasn't really listening, even though I was like, I was telling myself to pay attention to the name because you know you're bad at remembering names, and I still wouldn't be able to. And now I think because I am true, like if I meet someone new, I'm truly meeting them in a way that is like normal for me instead of like pretending like a person who knows how to meet people, how they act. Like I'm remembering people's names now.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Before you're just thinking about yourself. Oh, hi, I'm Jake. And then
this is what you say. This is what I say. Hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. Nice to meet you. Oh, hi, nice to meet you too. I'm so-and-so.
I mean,
cool. What do you do?
Well, depending on who you are, there's levels of anxiety that can come into meeting someone new. But even if you don't have anxiety, I think you usually, if you're going to enter any kind of conversation with a person, if it's not just a quick passing, you want to make an impression, I guess. So you do end up just thinking about yourself, not listening to a word that the person's saying, which makes for terrible conversation. That's the key to actually having a good conversation is listening. I know, surprise. But if you listen, you have to go in a little, maybe you prepare a bit. That way you have things to keep the conversation going if needed. But if you listen and you can build off what the other person says, you can have a decent conversation that's just on the fly and is actually a bit engaging, and you probably will remember the person's name at that point. Because you're not just, it's not a nefarious thing.
No, it's not. And anytime I say like I wasn't living honestly, it always sounds like I was lying to people or I was being fake. And it really wasn't that. It was just like tiny tweaks.
You just wanted to be perceived a certain way.
Yeah,
I think you wanted
instead of just being okay with however someone might perceive me.
You wanted to perceive yourself.
I might be.
Sorry, say that again because I talked over you.
I forget.
Okay. Somebody can go back and listen to Autumn's tinny voice under my full microphone.
Yeah, you should have been on your AirPods just in solidarity.
So nobody would listen? No, what I was saying was maybe, you wanted to be perceived a certain way, but probably more so for yourself. It's like, I want to be this person. This is the person I want to be.
Yeah, sure.
Instead of who you are, and then you're presenting that.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable. And then I feel
so much better than back then, which I was not feeling bad back then. It just is so different, It feels so different.
And I called you an alien.
Yeah, I'm not an alien.
And then you said, I'm not a robot. And I said, I never called you a robot. There's a clear distinction. A robot is a person who has zero feelings. A sociopath of sorts who just doesn't empathize, has zero compassion, doesn't feel.
Well, because you brought up the fact that I'm going to be back in Atlanta for the first time since we were there together. And you said, and you'll be right by your old place. Doesn't that make you feel something?
Sure. I
was like, no, I'm okay. You're like, you're an alien.
I did not say that in this situation. I said this in the past. I just let you do your thing. I did not call you an alien in this situation. And the reason
Yes, you did.
No, the reason an alien is different than a robot is an alien. If they're visiting, we're interacting with them, so therefore they're intelligent. They were able to create the technology to get to Earth, but they process feelings completely differently, or just maybe have different feelings. And I don't understand this at all. And quite often I felt as though that we're in psychobabble now. Let's just end the show. I'm out of here.
Oh my God. Greg is so caught up with one person
I'm out of
saying
here.
that we psychobabble. And that was influenced by Eric. So we should pay that no mind.
I'm out of here. Anyway, what was I saying? No, I forget. No. I was just saying that the way that you would process feelings, like, yeah, you're going back to Atlanta and that's where you lived and much of your life happened there. I know you don't want to, we don't need to get too deep into it, but I always felt as though you were a person who had feelings, but either didn't recognize them or didn't like them and would just package them differently inside. And the way I envisioned it was, here's this feeling that I don't like, sadness, and you would just put it in a pretzel box, like a big cardboard box of Snyder's pretzels that was then sent out for consumption in convenience stores. And it's like a good disguise. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. That was just a box of pretzels.
Yeah,
and nobody would even think to look into the Snyder's sourdough pretzel box.
That was a way that I was sort of operating. You know, like if an emotion or whatever, a feeling wasn't logical, like it didn't make logical sense or like do me any good in this moment, then yeah, pack it up in a pretzel box and ship it out. We don't have to pay attention to that. And what I have learned is that those feelings are not warnings always. Some can be a warning that you need to pay attention to it.
They're just things. They don't even need to represent.
They just exist. But sometimes you need to pay attention to that. Like, oh, what is this feeling? I need to focus. I need to think about what this feeling is and why it's happening. And maybe you find out it's just happening because of some other unrelated reason to something else and sometimes it's something that is important and you're like, you know what, I'm feeling this because I'm scared or I'm worried and I need to let the other person or whatever, I need to address it. And before I wouldn't do that because that's too hard and painful and not for me, you know?
Yes. Alien. So,
yeah.
See, robot, I don't feel.
Okay. But my point to you was that I do have feelings. I just don't react to the same things as you. I have other.
You still drunk?
A little. Do you ever have a burp that's not really a burp, but it goes in and it ends up being like a weird hiccup instead of a burp?
It doesn't necessarily come out like a hiccup, but yes,
that's what that was.
There's sometimes weird burps when it gets stuck in your chest. And you're like,
oh, okay. Well, maybe mine comes out as like a hiccup. That's what that was. Anyway, yeah, I have other things that I feel. Just, I'm not as, well, no, I was going to say I'm not as sentimental as you. I'm just differently sentimental.
In my move, where's this thing? Look at this. I know that no one else is going to see this. Do you see what this is? You don't even know what it is. It's an orange price tag that I ripped and made into like a little flag that would be on the back of a go-kart.
Perfect.
And it's been on my desk for years. And I just moved. And I went through things to throw things away, and I couldn't bring myself to throw this.
How did you move that?
It's a piece of trash. It was a piece of trash. I mean, I put it in a bag with other things of all other small items, a Ziploc bag.
And you made sure to get it, yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm talking about sentimental. It's ridiculous. I have this is the box of things that are now just being consolidated. And I know we've talked about this before, and like the stuff under my bed and the show about my closet. Mm-hmm. So this isn't new material, but the idea, I'm going to get rid of some of this. Now it's just going in a box. It used to be in a drawer, or it used to be in the desk. Now it's just going to go in a box, but I'm going to keep it.
Yeah. I mean, there are some things that I think should be kept. I think personally for you, your range of things that should be kept is a little bit bigger than what mine would be.
look, I think it's cool. I have this idea that I die and people who know me come look through my stuff and they find all these items. And they think, oh, that meant something to him. And then they take the
my
items.
mom, I think like if she cleaned up your, dead Greg's apartment, that she would find that little flag and be like, oh, look, it's like a little flag at the back of the go-kart.
Would you keep it?
I don't know. She might look at it and be like, oh, cool. And then toss it.
Damn. Well, see, I would, but I found that box of my grandfather's stuff. I've had, and I didn't really look at it. It was sitting under my bed. And I found some cool things in there.
Really cool things. Pictures of your great-grandparents?
Yeah. And I'm going to keep these things and I'll maybe put some on display.
Of course you should. Those are so cool.
It's also kind of strange. Like I put my grandfather's watch on the shelf in the bedroom, like a shrine next to his next to his camera. Like, oh, yeah.
You need like a candle.
Dead man.
Yeah.
Dead man lives here. Like his skin is probably still in that watch.
Really?
Yeah, there's probably some skin on the band or caught in the back of that pops off.
Dead man. Oh.
But I'm going to keep these things, and that's the idea. It's like, wow, he's got so much. Too bad I don't have kids, because then one day they or my grandkids, their kids would be like, oh, Grandpa's dead, but look at all this stuff, and then they would create a shelf and a shrine for me.
There you go. I mean, have you seen? I haven't seen it, but I understand the plot of Coco.
Oh no, I never saw Coco.
Coco. Yeah, I think you would really. I think it would make you more sentimental, because the whole point is that in the afterlife, people stay alive for as long as people outside of the afterlife remember them. So when the last person, like when there's only one person left that remembers you, and then maybe they die, or maybe they've just forgotten you, or they've gotten older, or they can't remember you or something, then you die in the afterlife.
Where do you go at that point?
I don't know.
You just disappear.
I haven't seen the movie. Yeah, they like disappear. They're fading, because the people on Earth are, out in this different realm or whatever. They remember, or they stop remembering you. That's sad.
There's a life lived that should be looked at, and it doesn't need to be like over the top. Everyone's got a life. Everyone's got their life, and the small moments are the things. Like, hey, look at this. Look at these little things. Look at this thing that I found. This meant something to that person. Maybe I'm just
What is our topic?
I don't know what the topic is. I don't know. It's rambling. Because you introduced killing. Even though we just did murder. And you forgot.
So now it's memories.
It's not even necessarily memories. We did talk about memory. I brought that up. But we were going to talk about your impending move.
Oh my God.
I mean, I sidetracked us too. I sidetracked that you were in the middle of a thought about TikTok.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But
that's okay.
I have no more to say.
You want to talk about my move?
I have no more to say about TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about a move? You liked this apartment that you're in?
I love my apartment. Okay, so this is the deal. So,
will you keep a piece of it?
Huh?
Will you like rip something, a drawer pull or a piece of the carpet up or something and keep it?
Ew, no.
Why not? Why wouldn't you want to keep a piece of the apartment?
Because I'm not that type of sentimental.
I kept the keys from my last apartment, not the door to the apartment itself, but the building. I made copies and turned those in, and I thought these have been in my pocket for 5.5 years. This is a part of my life, so I kept them.
No, I won't keep anything. Oh, see, I'm feeling that feeling. Okay, let me explain what's happening. So, I'm an only child basically, and because I have a half brother, but he's like no one. He's a part of our family, but it's not like involved like someone normally would be. That's not anyone's fault. I don't know. It's nothing. Anyway, so my mom wants to be up here so badly. So, we talked about them selling their house and using the sale of that house as a down payment.
In Lawrenceville, the house you grew up in.
Nope, I did not grow up in Lawrenceville. I grew up in Loganville.
Oh, sorry, the L's. When did they move to this house that they're in now?
1998.
Well, they moved you when you were in high school? They moved you in the middle of high school? Unbelievable.
Yeah, but I didn't switch schools.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so you didn't have as much time spent in this house. I was going to ask about how you felt with them leaving this house.
Oh, no, I have no connection, really. I mean, I have a connection there, obviously, because they've been there for, 20 years or whatever it's been.
Would you keep a piece of that rug?
No, I don't care about that house.
Okay.
And maybe my parents will keep a piece of the rug. I don't know. But they want to be up here so badly. Well, at least my mom, especially. My dad is just like, I'll go wherever your mom goes. So, it happened so fast, so their neighbor, the people that lived there passed away, and their kids have been over like to the neighbor's house, cleaning it up and getting ready to sell. And they have a family friend who grew up with a bunch of people in that neighborhood, that wanted to buy my parents' house. So they didn't even have to put it on the market. And they just last week, he applied for the loan, got the loan, came over Friday. They signed papers. Like, it's signed. They have to be out by the end of July.
That is pretty insane.
Now,
that they just did that seemingly on a whim. I mean, I know that there was a plan.
It had been talked about before.
Yes, and I know that your mom retired.
And the fact that I would get, my mom's retired. Both of my parents are retired. And it would really be almost like a gift for me, because it's going to be an investment. And the market's only going to get better around here. So anyway, yeah, it's a good thing all around. My kids will be so excited. My parents, I think, will be happier. My dad has friends up here, longtime friends, and he has zero friends in Lawrenceville, like back home in Georgia.
Because he proposed to your mom right down the street at like a lobster house or something.
He did.
A restaurant.
Yeah, it used to be called something else, but now it's called, something else. But I don't want to say exactly where I live. You know what I mean?
Oh, you think people are going to come find you? I'm sure it's public record. I don't think you've ever gone anywhere and said, "Don't list my address." I'm sure I could find it.
You think so?
Yeah. All right, you continue speaking. I'll do a quick search.
Yeah, let me know if you find it. So now that's happening, and it just is happening so quickly, and the market is in such a state that if you like a house, if it's been on the market for a couple days, it's probably not going to be yours unless you can like really motivate the seller, or it's got to be like the second it goes on the market, you see it and you are prepared to buy it, and like basically give them cash in a way that's like, we'll skip the inspection, we'll skip this, we'll do that, you don't have this, blah, 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 so it's just a lot. And I love my apartment, and it's just scary to think about moving.
Well, it's a big change.
Yeah.
There's already been a year going on 2 years of big change in your life, and I'll just throw this on top quickly. I found at least your old address like a block away, so I could probably find this one if I continued to.
Yeah, you probably could.
So,
and I've given enough evidence about like the car I drive and stuff on the doctrine, so you probably find it pretty easy.
Let's hope nobody's coming to look for you.
Yeah,
it's pretty creepy. But anyway, whatever your new life is settled into, also. It's like you do, I don't know if you like being alone or not, but you do have that, and now that's going to go away too. Your parents will always be around.
So that's the thing. My parents will not be staying in a room down the hall. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be like that. It's going to be, they have a separate living space. What that ends up meaning is that the house has to be big enough to have something like that in the first place. So we end up looking at these like really fancy big old houses. And so like the way you feel in your new place, where you're like, I'm going to lose things. if you leave something somewhere else, like you have to, hike somewhere to get to it. Like that's how I feel in these big houses. It's going to be crazy. And it doesn't make me feel as comfortable, like I like a little bit of coziness.
Yeah, smaller spaces are nice. You know what's going on at any given moment in any corner of the apartment.
Yeah.
This as far as houses go, the apartment I'm in now is still probably small to many people, but for New York living, this is a mansion. It's
huge, and it has a washer and dryer.
Nah, the washer and dryer's in the front building in the basement, but it's not that
still.
far. Yeah, that's fancy.
Yeah.
I know. What? The washer and dryer's not, but it's free to use and it's close.
Heck yeah, it's free? I thought you'd have to pay.
No, it's free. You just go use the thing.
That's amazing.
And there's only 3 other apartments outside of this one in these 2 buildings. So It's not like there's much competition to use it. But the point
So
is,
yeah, it's just
yeah,
this is what I was saying about feelings, but like when I get so I get a feeling in my stomach, that's like a little adrenaline or anxiety, I guess, and I'm trying to pay attention to that and say like, what is this feeling? Is it normal? Like just worry because things are changing really quickly? Is it, am I actually afraid to live with my parents? Am I worried about that? Like I can't tell like what's normal. I guess even being afraid of living with my parents is normal. I don't know. I'm just trying to pay attention to that feeling.
well,
I'm trying to
living with
figure out what
them
it is.
as an only child, no matter what, as they continue to age, it was probably going to become your responsibility at some point to help them.
Absolutely. And I'm
And
happy to do it. And I think that their lives will be better. And I think my kids will get even closer to them because Ellie's really close with my mom. And I want that for them. And like I said, it's like I'm going to get a big investment out of this deal. But at the
I mean,
same time,
that's fine. That's nice. You don't need the investment because you got some AMC stock. But
you're right.
outside of that, I guess it's smart.
Just take their $200K and put it into AMC.
Do it to the moon. Okay, well, the whole thing it's just a lot. So I think that the feeling is probably natural.
Okay.
And normal. It's
nice to hear you say that.
Just don't put it in the pretzel box.
I'm not. See, that's what I'm saying.
It's cool. It's fine. I'm doing this. It's fine.
Yep.
That's what I'm...
Before, this is how I would have acted before. I would be like, oh, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And then I would say like, that feeling is like, shake it off. Like, just don't, don't do
Why?
That.
What's wrong?
Hard.
Yeah, what's wrong with the person who says, I'm kind of nervous about this? Does it destroy the excitement of your parents? You don't want to do that? Does it?
Yeah, it might. What I think it might do if I did express it especially to my mom or something, that she would say like, do you not want us to move? Is this, you don't want that? It's like, no, I don't know. Oh. So, but I have expressed it to her. I'm like, yeah, I'm nervous. Like, I'm scared. And I said, I love my place. Another thing is, between me and Travis, like he's a little like freaked out
about
me staying here.
Yeah, well, what?
Yeah, I know.
What is this? This is the thing that my feelings on that.
Yeah.
He gets to move where he wants to move, and you follow, so the kids can hang out. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
And I hope you've come to realize that there's nothing wrong with people wanting to maintain, the structure that you've currently have, where he lives a block away, and seeing the kids, it's 1 week on, 1 week off, but it's still flexible, and anyone can see anyone at any given time. But it's a little bit unreasonable. It's like, I'm gonna move. You follow me where I go, so we can keep this.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard for everyone, but these are difficult decisions that come up in a divorce and when there's kids.
Yeah. So, I'm feeling logically that what you're saying, logically, I understand that. But emotionally, because Travis and I, get along and got along as well as we did, is because like our traumas fit together really well. We don't ask a lot of each other. And then when he's upset with me, it feels more impactful maybe than when other people are upset with me. When other people are upset with me, it's more like, well, I hate that they're mad at me, or I don't like that I made them feel that way, but this is the truth. This is the way it is, and blah, blah, blah. With him, it's like, it's just a different type of feeling when he's upset with me. So I had to, this morning, I did some like writing in my car.
In your car?
To see this. Well, I was waiting at this open house. To tour a house. I was waiting.
So
I got there 3 minutes early accidentally.
You're pulling up to red lights and finishing your diary.
Yeah. I just did some writing and like wrote it out with myself, and I just realized that like, it's okay if Travis is upset with me. You can still be like unhappy that you've made him feel that way. That's no fun to feel. But at the same time, it will pass. His feelings about this will change. He's been very mad at me before, and that's been hard to deal with. And that's you know, that always changes, you know, it always gets better. But it's a tough feeling to feel because I'm not happy about making him upset because he wants to, you know, he wants to move with his girlfriend and she lives further away and
it can't all be on his terms. There needs to be these, you know, ultimately it's his responsibility to own those feelings and you're going to get angry and sometimes it's not reasonable and the feelings aren't wrong that if he's angry, you know, God knows that, you know, when I was angry, when we were going through our stuff and it certainly affected you and I threw a lot of it at you, but I also was like trying to at least sort it out and understand motivations and why. And
I hope he's doing that.
It's a hard thing to do, but it's, you know, at its most basic, it's, I want things to stay like this. You're keeping it from staying like this. I'm pissed at you. That's, you know, not the way it needs to stay. Meaning on his end, if you just leave it at that, then that's shitty for you because then it's all thrown on you and then you're left feeling bad holding, you know, the bag of anger.
Right.
And, you know, it's not necessarily fair, but I know that you don't know how it's going to play out. It just, you need to look out for your best interest too and the kid's interest. And I know that's the thing, but it's a balance. You got to, there's a huge balancing act that needs to go on and everyone has to sacrifice some. Everyone's going to have to, and that's just the nature of it. And you can't find a way there. It doesn't exist. There's a dream where it's like nobody has to sacrifice anything, or I'll sacrifice.
But the kids shouldn't sacrifice anything.
Well, the kids they already have to.
Well, there should be at the minimum.
Yes, I understand that. But the most direct sacrifice is, you know, you staying in Crofton and Travis moving, and then they don't have as much easy access. Obviously, the access is going to be there. That's the most direct sacrifice, and you may want to avoid that. But you know, there's other sacrifice that they would have to deal if you moved and sacrificed the things that you wanted in your life, and then you're no longer as good of a mother. And you know, how much are they actually sacrificing at that point?
Right. I said that, like, I'm not ignoring feelings, but I feel like some of this navigation is for like Travis to do, and it makes me feel like sad and weird when I think about it too much.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean when it makes you feel weird?
Well, sad makes me feel sad and worried.
What part? That he's not going to do it?
No. Like thinking about whatever he's going to have to do, and I don't want to have to worry about that or think about it because that's his to think about and figure out.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. There's some fear that you feel as though he can't do it or he won't do it, and he's just going to be left some steaming pile of broken feelings.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want that.
It's not your responsibility. Who wants it? Nobody wants it. When you care about a person, nobody wants that. But it's not. You can't keep that from happening.
Anyway, I don't mean to get too personal about Travis's like life on here. And, you know, I don't want anybody listening to like go find him on Facebook or something. Don't.
When you're just planting seeds. You didn't say anything bad. These are just normal things that people have to go through, difficult life roads.
I just don't want anyone to think I'm like talking shit or talking out of school or.
I don't think it sounded like that. It just is a thing that's present in your life. You're making a decision that sounds like.
That affects other people too.
Yes. A thing that I guess you want. It also does seem like someone else's decision.
I think you know, it's not like it's someone else's decision, but I mean, maybe this is one of those moments where I am putting it in the pretzel box. I'm like, see, it's a pretzel, it's fine. You know, moving is fine. Because I do believe that all those things are good and they're good for the people in my life who I love and care about. And I think that's important. So I think that that's why I'm okay with it ultimately, is because I feel like it is a good thing overall.
Yeah, but all you said was that's good for other people. You never said once it's good for you. I'm not saying it's not.
Good for me no, I know. It's good for me for the future. It's good for future me.
Okay.
You know? if I had my choice right now, I mean, I'm fine just staying here. But, getting in now to a house, especially with help, I don't think is a bad decision,
Well, again,
But yeah, right now I think stability feels really good, because I'm trying to work on so many things. So maybe that's part of it too,
just make sure, again, everyone has to sacrifice something, and there's going to be a lot of compromise. Just make sure you're getting something out of it, ultimately.
Well, I'm getting
something you want. I'm not saying you know what I mean. Something that's going to work for you.
Well, I mean, there was a place that was like really great living area and bedrooms and stuff. It was basically like 2 apartments, right? Like you walk in on a landing, it was a split level, but not like a really shitty split level. You go down, and basically the whole bottom of the house was the basement, like a finished basement with rooms and halls and bathroom and a living area and a different living area, whatever. And then you go up, and then the whole upper house part of the house was a house, and it was really good. But it was so open, so the living room area where my parents would be in the basement was directly connected through stair, up to the living area of the house part, the upper house part. And even though it would have been really good fit for them, it wouldn't have been good overall, because if my dad's watching, Frasier super loud in the morning, down there, we're all going to hear it upstairs, and we're going to be right above their bedrooms. And it was just like not going to be right. And so in that way, I am looking out for me. Like, I'm not going to enjoy this.
You just get them get them a Sonos speaker setup, some Bluetooth headphones. And you watch
just my dad always with headphones.
Hey, I look, if a house actually works, and the only reason you wouldn't do is because he wants to watch TV loud, I think that's an easy thing he could do. It's like, look, you got to watch this with these headphones. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it was also that like the kitchen and the living room were right above their bedroom, where their bedroom would be. So like if I had people over and it was, late, and we'd be like stomping around and laughing and talking, it would suck for them.
Yeah, playing cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that I couldn't have done this properly for me 5 years ago. Or even like maybe even last year, I think I would have had trouble sticking up for stuff that I needed and what I wanted and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm in a good headspace to be able to communicate with them about, why this won't work or why this is that. I don't know.
All right. Well, that can be the end of it. You don't have to explore it anymore.
All right.
Feels like you hit a wall.
Yeah.
Psychobabble.
I
don't
this
like.
is stressful. Moving is stressful anyway, so that's okay.
Yes, moving is stressful. I was, to get the couch up to this 3rd floor where the living room is. It was a very tight turn. It wouldn't fit. And I threw a fit like a child, a baby, because I realized that there's a 2nd story window right in front of the staircase that I couldn't get the couch to. And the movers just we tried, didn't work. Couch is in the bedroom. See ya. You owe $700. Like, okay. Look, we could try to take the window off. It's going to cost a lot of money. And I knew there was a way to get the couch up.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm telling this is because moving is stressful, and I think a lot of it played out with the couch. The couch was the
like the totem of stress.
Yeah, it was just so it's like the couch. I can take the window off of the frame, and then the couch can be lifted to the 2nd story and pushed straight through the window, straight up the staircase, and that was going to work. I just didn't have help. I didn't have people who were able to do that, and I was insistent that it be done in the moment. I mean, Christina was the only other person there, and a delicate flower of a person, a weak woman.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I mean, I'm making the joke, but there is strength that is needed to lift pieces of furniture. Mm-hmm. And she was going to call people, and it's like, no, it's going to take too long. They're going to be busy. It's going to take them forever to get here. It needs to be done now. Because it was representative of everything. I didn't feel like I could continue to set up the apartment or pack it. unpack it, or with the couch being where it didn't need to be, and there's nowhere to sit upstairs, and blah 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 blah. You know, it snowballed and spiraled, and it's a very stressful thing. Is the point? Moving is stressful. Change is stressful.
How'd you get the couch up? You took the couch out the back window. You let it.
The neighbor ended up coming out, just taking out some trash or something, and offered to help.
Here's some help.
He helped. We lifted the couch
hey,
up.
New York, you need help, buddy.
Look, I was at the point where I was up on a ladder, lifting the couch up, standing on this thing without any stabilization. Like it clearly could have fallen over.
Couldn't that have like knocked the ladder back?
Yeah, it could have crushed me. I could have fallen just off of a ladder is, bad enough, and then a couch could have crushed me. Like I was being so stubborn and ridiculous. And
you had to get it up there.
And then later you look at your behavior like, what? I'm ashamed.
But hey, that was the motivation that got the couch up in the room, and now it's there.
It would have gotten up there. The logical part was done. I was like, that will fit. That will work. We can get this done. Like I was going on TaskRabbit, ready to pay a lot of money because it needed to be done now in the moment, and I didn't need to.
Okay, so what would your more rational brain now say to do instead in that moment?
Wait, just look, and it's going to get
wait
up
for
there.
What?
Help.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I lucked out that the neighbor came, but it just waits for some help, and then later, completely ashamed at my behavior. The illusion's broken. I'm like, you sure that this is the person you want to live with? This?
Oh, yeah. Did you say that to her?
Yeah, this creature.
What did she say?
This disgusting. Don't make her speak like that ever again. Don't.
That wasn't an insult to her. That was just more like trying to reassure you and be sweet.
Well, I don't even want that at that point. I want the truth.
Oh, okay.
It's like, you were a fucking asshole. That's what I want. It's like, yes, I was.
Did she say that?
No.
Oh.
It was understanding. Sometimes I just want to be told actually what I am. Anyway, you're moving. It's stressful. The end. I don't know. I don't know what this show was about.
Yeah. Psychobabble.
One topic. You guys really gave up on that format, didn't you? 3
topics, I think, today.
you just gave up on that. The truth is, we still stick to topics for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Let's call it Psychobabble.
Okay, I'll call it some psychobabble.
Yeah, psychobabble.
How do you create a middle finger with symbols on a keyboard?
Ooh, there's got to be a way. You probably have to switch to a Japanese keyboard. They always have cool things that they can make.
Middle finger symbols keyboard. There's got to be.
It'll probably come up as the emoji.
Yeah, I don't want the emoji. I want the symbols. There's some weak ones. I'm not really a big fan of those.
You could do it. Oh, wait. A vertical short line and a taller vertical line.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because then you could just go short, tall, short. And then the thumb could be an apostrophe or something.
Here, I'll send one in the chat. Here's one.
Or a forward slash.
Here's one that has a face.
Oh, I love that.
You like
really
that?
Cute. It kind of looks like a little dick and balls, though.
Okay, well, maybe I'll post that as part of the title. Anyway.
Okay, I like that one.
I gotta turn on this air conditioner. It's gotten too hot.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for listening to our Psychobabble. I hope what we talk about helps you feel not as alone with your weird emotions and thoughts. I hope that's happening. Please support our sponsor, hopandpepper.com. You can get 15% off some really great locally made in Chattanooga hot sauce.
10 seconds.
Hopandpepper.com. One topic 15. Thank you. Love you. Bye.